Alrighty then. Welcome to Youth Central Sports and Charles Morse. And again, I feel really bad because I just gave Vince Carter a call. And for those who don't know it, a couple of weeks ago, Vince, by the way, welcome to Youth Central Sports, where we come to you every Wednesday from 11 to 12 p.m. right here at www.youthcentralsports.com. And we've been doing this for a little while now. And Vince Carter Sr., the first Coach Carter, the original Coach Carter, as he would tell Coach Carter, who the Coach Carter, the famous Coach Carter, actually came and spoke at one of Vince's event and had a chance to videotape him, talk to him. Really nice guy. He has a lot of great stories, and it's just funny to see how they go back and forth with this Coach Carter thing. But anyway, Vince fell and tore something in his leg, in his hamstring, and had to have surgery. And I can tell that it's a slow process for him right now. So he said that he would be back this coming week. But I can tell by the way that he sounds when I talked to him last that he was not doing that well. I tried to get him to come on the show last week, but he is up in Tennessee now. He's no longer here in the Orlando area, which I still tease him about as well. But he is up in Tennessee coaching high school basketball, and not sure how they're doing now, because the last time I talked, he was out of commission in the sense of his leg and the surgery, and his team was in the playoffs. So he was excited about that because I think they had a 20-plus win season, I think, on 5 losses. So the team was doing really well going into the playoffs. So I don't know where they are now. He was going to give us an update for that. But anyway, we're wishing him well. And as he said that his body is recovering slowly at this point in time, but he's gonna be okay. All right. So again, Youth Central Sports. I'm Charles Morse. Happy to be with you here on this Wednesday. And there was a few things that I wanted to run by Vince, and because, as you know, this time of the year, we are dealing with what? March Madness. March Madness indeed. And so it's always a fun time this time of the year. A lot of trades going on. But you know what, let me ask you something. Have you gotten used to the daylight saving times? One of the senators had passed a bill as of today for us to stay on daylight saving times 24/7, as in we won't go back to the original time. So that should be interesting. As a matter of fact, from what I heard, I could be wrong, but I heard this is the 100th year that daylight saving time has been in existence. So what it was, 1918 that they started this, if that's true, that daylight saving time. So wondering how you're handling that, and if you're, I guess, all states, I don't know if all states do the daylight saving times, but I know here in Florida they're trying to make it a permanent thing. And it's so interesting that like last week when it came into effect, they did all these news stories on losing 1 hour of sleep. You know what I'm saying? Which is so funny because you lose 1 hour of sleep, right? But they don't say anything about that when you're young and when you out and you at the club and when you partying, when you in college. When you lose more than 1 hour of sleep, you lose a whole bunch of hours of sleep and you do just fine, right? But that's interesting, because I just think that's just funny. But and normally you catch that up at some point in time, you know, when you're in college and when you're young. And like now when you get this, now when you're older, some of you are not older, old like me and other people that we now talk about how it's not that you can't go out and party, you just don't have an interest because I guess you've gotten that out of your system, and that what used to excite you doesn't really excite you anymore. So you really, not that you don't have the energy, your focus and energy is just somewhere else. But my whole point of it is that there's a lot of things that you do where you lose an hour of sleep. But when it's a national thing, I guess they have to make a story out of it. I used to work in news, so I kind of get that anyway. But anyway, the question is, have you gotten, or do you like the daylight saving times? So, but anyway, again, here in Florida, they're trying to make it a permanent thing here. So that should be interesting to see if the bill passes. NFL. I wanted to talk about the NCAA tournament. I got my brackets. I really don't have them filled out because I don't really do the betting thing. You don't really have to bet though, but it's always fun to kind of go through the brackets. I did it last year, but the NFL, a lot of trades, quarterback signings, and all of that. And it's funny because Kirk Cousins signed this nice contract. Nice. It's like, wow, like guaranteed. I think the whole thing is guaranteed. I think it's like $84 million. It must be nice. But what's so funny is I can remember not too long ago where RG3 and him was battling out, and they were saying that RG3 should be playing and not him. And all of a sudden, he's like the guy with the contract, which I guess kind of proved that RG3 was not the guy and that he was. Then you got your boy Bridgewater. Then you got Keenum, I think that's his name. And those guys, and Sam Bradford, all those guys signing big contracts. And shoot, so next season, this upcoming season should be a little interesting. Some big moves on some big names here and there, and people, of course, it happens every season where big names get, outed out because of salary cap and this and that and this, and moves here, moves there. And I've been watching this Washington Boston game. They're in the second overtime right now with 46 seconds to go, with the Lakers and the Warriors waiting to come on. But again, Youth Central Sports right here on www.youthcentralsports.com. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and here's Dr. Woods, and he's going to tell you about the O-Shot. Pay close attention.
Hi, how are you? I'm Dr. Abraham Woods, and I have a question for you. Would you stay around if you had bad sex? Who stays around for bad sex? You've often wondered if there's something we can do for you in the house of medicine that can help you improve yourself so you can help to improve your relationships. Well, ladies, we do have a shot for you called the O-Shot. The O-Shot has been around for a couple of years, and here at the Rejuvenation, we have been doing this shot for women to help them with their sensation, to help them with their lubrication, to help them with their arousal, and most of all, to help them with their orgasm, to achieve better orgasms like ever before. The process of injecting your platelets into your vaginal area has been improved to a point that we can now inject your platelets, which we take from your bloodstream, and concentrate them, activate them, and place them into the clitoris, the labia, into the Bartholin gland area, along the urethra, that for those of you who suffer bad sex just from leaking urine, we're able to tighten those muscles and tighten the vaginal floor so that you can get excellent results. When you get to the point in life that you want to enhance your sexual performance, think of rejuvenation. We at the Rejuvenation Treatment are here for you, and therefore give us a call, 407-830-4777, or go to our website at Rejuvenation Treatment Center, and you can find out more about us. Thank you.
All right, the Dr. Woods from the Urology Center, the Rejuvenation Center. Nice guy. And the O-Shot, You also, I probably should let you know also about the P shot that's coming up. So my word to you is that you should contact them, find out more information about the P shot and the O shot at 407-830-4777. And if you tell them that you heard it on Youth Central Sports, you will get some type of discount or something. I don't know how much, but you got to let them know that you heard it on Youth Central Sports or the Journey 2020. Mention one of the two, the Journey 2020 or Youth Central Sports, and you get a discount somewhere, somehow, some way, right? But anyway, I'm Charles Morse, and this is Youth Central Sports. Happy to be with you. I was briefly talking about the NFL. We got the NBA playoffs coming up sometime real soon. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Looks like Washington won that game. Coming down, I guess, maybe the last 20 plus games or so. And one of the questions that I'm going to ask Vince is about LeBron making it back to the finals. That should be interesting as well. You know, Steph Curry would be fine. He's out right now with a little ankle sprain. Twisted his ankle about 3 or 4 days ago, but he will be fine. But I wanted to talk about Houston, where, you know, are they a legit threat to the Warriors? Is Toronto really coming out of the East? I think it'll be more of a battle between them and Boston. Cleveland is kind of, you know, they're giving the praise like they always do to LeBron. But we shall see what the deal is. Coming out of the East, coming out of the West, we know that it's either going to be Houston or Golden State. It's going to be interesting to see what San Antonio does in the off season. This is probably one of the worst seasons they've had in a very long time. I've always been a big San Antonio fan. I really don't have a favorite, as in the sense of looking to say, I'll tell you who I don't want to win. But actually, you know what? If I had to pick a team to say that I want to win it all, I think it would be nice to see the Thunder win it. That's not going to happen. It's not that it can't, but I would love to have this conversation with Vince, because Carmelo Anthony, I think, is a good player. And I've mentioned this before on the show. Same topic, same conversation. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. He's a good player. But does he make any team better? I haven't seen where, because he's on a team is better. I think that he was a much better fit, and he was doing things for the team more so when he was in Denver. But I don't think that New York has been a better team. And I, again, can say, as good as a player as he is, because he's kind of like a one-dimensional player, which is fine. I mean, you are what you are. But does he make the team better? You know, New York sucked, but they're a better team. And I think they've had less talent now than they did when he was there. I mean, they have less talent now than when he was there. They had more talent when he was there, and they have less talent now, and they're a better team. So, as much as I like him, I always go by what I see, and it sounds like I'm knocking him, but I'm not. I'm just asking the question, does he make a team better? As good of a player Carmelo Anthony is, does he make his teammates better? Does he make the team better? And the only time that I saw where he was on a team where they had a legitimate shot at going to the next level was when he was in Denver. Haven't seen it in New York at all. But that's just my own personal opinion, and I don't hate on him, not at all. I would love to see him in a place where it works, you know, because he's a good player. But I don't think he's been in a place like he was in Denver where you can see the team needed him and he made a difference. Hasn't happened since he left there. But anyway, that's my own personal opinion. Not that it means anything. But I wanted to be, before I get into the NCAA, let me go and let's say hi to Eddie.
Hello, my brothers. Are you having a little trouble in the bedroom that's making you feel, well, a little less than? We have the answer for you. A new revolutionary breakthrough solution scientifically proven for men suffering from erectile dysfunction and Peyronie's disease. It's called GainsWave. Yes, GainsWave. Are you ready for increased girth, harder, stronger erections, increased sensation? GainsWave is the answer. Non-surgical, non-invasive, no side effects, no downtime. You need GainsWave, my brother. Call us at Rejuvenation Treatment Center, 407-830-4777. Again, that's Rejuvenation Treatment Center, 407-830-4777, to get you back in the game.
All right, the Rejuvenation Center trying to get you back in the game. You know, I was trying to find, I haven't really been talking about my sponsors for a while, which shame on me. And the Rejuvenation Center is one of my sponsors by far. And you think that I would have this video set up, and especially the one about the P-shot, brothers. Really, seriously. You think that I would have that set up, and I'm going to see if I can find it real quick, because not that this need to be some type of sex show or anything like that, and that's not what we're talking about. It's really more about, let me see if I can find it real quick. Eddie. Oh, no. Nope. Oh shot. Nope. For some odd reason, I can't find, oh, here we go. Ta-da, I found one of them anyway. I will eventually play that. I found one. Anyway, the Center of Urology, which is local here in the Orlando area, Central Florida, with Dr. Woods and Dr. Jumper, Eddie Jumper, can really help you out. And you need to find out and do a little bit more research on the P shot and the O shot and the wave gain. It's gain wave. But anyway, definitely do some research on that, and you might find that they can help you get back into the game. Now, before we get on to the P shot, I wanted to bring up the March Madness. We're gonna kind of talk about that for a quick minute. Again, you're watching Youth Central Sports. I'm Charles Morse. Happy to have you back in the game, and happy to be with you here on Youth Central Sports. And again, Vince is kind of under the weather. He's dealing with surgery. He tore something in his leg, and they had to go in and do some surgery. So he's a little under the weather. We want to wish him well. And I'm not a drug guy. I'm not a drug guy because I don't like taking drugs, medicine. But my back was out recently, and now that I'm older, I can't really deal with it the way that I used to back in the day. So for the first time, I felt and understood the benefit of ibuprofen, because I was like, wow, I took it. And I was like, oh, okay, I understand. Because it did make a difference as I took this ibuprofen, and really helped me when dealing with the pain. So anyway, talking about drugs and those type of things, and I'm really not, but I do understand that sometimes it's necessary. So I know that Vince said that he was taking something, and that he didn't want to be, taking that much of it, but I can tell he was in pain. So you keep Vince in your prayers, and it's a slow recovery, but Vince is going to be okay. All right, now about the NCAA March Madness. I'm going to start off with, the women, because I love women's basketball. I always have, ever since I was in junior high school. I used to go watch the girls play back when I was in 8th grade. And not because they was just girls, but I used to love to watch them play. And because they was girls. But it was always fun to watch them play. Everyone who follows college women's basketball knows UConn is the #1 seed, which I talked about last year, because how sweet it was that and I call it the revenge factor, because the year before they had beat this team by 64 points. And they upset them last year, killed that win streak, but it was just beautifully done. And I was like, oh man, I know they was waiting all year just for that one. The team, I think, was Mississippi. Mississippi State. I think they had, they beat UConn to go play for the championship. They didn't win the championship, but that victory that they had against UConn still had to be nice. You would like to have won the championship, but if you can't win the championship, you'll take that win against UConn. Trust me, because I know in their hearts and mind, they was just like, no, you guys beat us by 64 points last year. Hello, it was nice. If you ever get a chance to go and watch that game from last year, you go watch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But UConn is the #1 seed coming out of, does it say? I guess it's the East. Yeah. The #1 seed, Notre Dame, that's out of the West. Kansas City, okay. Mississippi State, who I was just talking about. And then Louisville is ranked #1, is a #1 seed. So, and I'm looking at the #1 seeds, talking women now. Is there anybody in this bracket that might be a threat to UConn? And I'm looking, Georgia is ranked 4th. Nah. Duke, who's the 2 seed? South Carolina is the 2 seed. South Carolina is the 2 seed. South Florida, they spanked South Florida. Florida State is the 3rd seed. Now, I wonder if there's always the intimidating factor when it comes to that, and I wonder how the coaches talk and deal with that as far as motivation. There's always the motivation to try to get these players to believe, and that's always the challenge of coaching any team, no matter what sports that you're coaching, is to try to get players to believe in your philosophy and believe what you're telling them. Because it's really a mind game. But they're playing in Albany. So I'm looking to see who really might be a threat to UConn, the #1 seed. South Carolina is 2. Florida State is 3. Georgia is 4, and Duke is 5. So South Carolina, we'll see, because South Carolina is playing North Carolina A&T, UConn, and I guess the UConn game, St. Francis, the 16th seed, going up against UConn. Would they beat them by 60 or 50? Okay. Looking at the other bracket, where Notre Dame was the #1 seed, they're going up against Cal St. Northridge, which is the 6th seed, who would be here playing out west in Spokane. Who's the Oregon is the 2 seed. Who's the 3 seed? Ohio State is the 3 seed, and Texas A&M is the 4th seed, and DePaul is the 5th seed. So I would look for Notre Dame to come out of there. Notre Dame. Okay. Louisville is the number 1 seed, and Lexington coming out. Ooh. Look like they got some home cooking. They got some home cooking. Oh no. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Wrong. Okay. All right. Okay. I understand. Eventually, if they was to make it there to the Sweet 16. All right. I got confused on that. Louisville goes up against Boise State, and Baylor is playing against Grambling. That's the 2 seed. So coming out, let me see, you got number 1 Louisville, you got number 2 Baylor, and who's the 3rd seed? Tennessee is the 3rd seed, and the 4th seed, Stanford. Okay. So that bracket looks like it might be a little bit more even as far as the 1 versus the 4, 1 through 4. But I really don't have Louisville record right now. So, okay. Mississippi State playing against Nicholas. That's the 16th seed, the 1 versus 16. Texas is the 2 seed. They're playing against Maine. I don't think they'll have a problem with Maine. The 3 seed is UCLA, and the 4th seed is North Carolina State. Okay, so again, Mississippi and Texas. Okay, so I don't think there'll be any major upsets. I don't think as far as the UConn. Man, that's unfair too, because I think that they're playing that that game is in Connecticut too, where UConn is at home. That's messed up. Already a powerhouse, you get to play in your state. Man, amazing what money can do. Wow. That's messed up. Wow. Wait a minute, Tallahassee. Well, Florida State, South Carolina, Tallahassee, and Georgia. Okay. I guess that's how it is. Okay, well, I'm looking. Well, I guess that's how it is in women's basketball. Okay, I get it. Waco, Texas. Waco. Okay, Baylor. Duh. I get it. Well, now I'm starting to understand the philosophy on where they're playing now, and I'm understanding women's basketball. It's not men's, but that's the women. Okay, so now I'm a person who's very interested in the NIT. I'm an NIT guy. A lot of people don't talk about it that much, but I think a lot of teams get shafted, and some good teams end up going to the NIT. Interesting because my guy, let me refresh this. I'm going to refresh this, so because it's been a while and some games were being played when I first did this. So I'm going to look at the NIT, and Notre Dame will be playing. They beat Hampton, and Notre Dame will be playing Penn State because Penn State beat Temple. Oregon beat Rider, and Marquette beat Harvard. So it'll be Oregon against Marquette. Baylor beat Wagner, and let's see, Mississippi State beat Nebraska, and Middle Tennessee beat Vermont. You know, I almost went to Middle Tennessee. I had a scholarship there. And so they'll be playing against Louisville. So that's a 2 against a 3. Okay. Over here in the third region, USC. Ooh. What? Oh, okay. I need glasses. That can't be what I thought it was. Okay. All right. I'm all right. I'm sorry. I thought I saw something that wasn't there. Western Kentucky, USC, because Western Kentucky, beat Boston College. Oh, okay. And Sanford beat, they're still playing. And Oklahoma is all over Florida, Gulf Coast. St. Mary beat Southeast Louisiana, and Boise State and Washington they're playing right now. LSU beat Louisiana, and Utah beat the University Carolina Davidson. So it looks like LSU is going to be playing Utah. It looks like St. Mary is going to be playing Washington, and this game here, Oklahoma is going to be playing maybe Stanford, and USC is going to play Western Kentucky, and they get a chance to eventually play in the Garden, Madison Square Garden. How exciting is that? So with that being said, that's the NIT, and like I said, I love the NIT. A lot of good teams get shafted like they always do every year. At least they have somewhere to go, not like in, that's not true, because I was going to say not like in football, which is one of the things I wanted to talk with Vince about, was this whole NCAA thing, which is another show all by itself, and how I don't even know what to call the NCAA. The mafia? I don't know. I don't know. The Godfather? Because you want to talk about some stuff. Just follow the money. If you ever want to know, have a question, just follow the money, and that will answer all of your questions. And how I think the problem with the NCAA, they don't know how to regulate it. They don't know how to control it. This is too much stuff already happening, and they have no way to control it. You have two sports that bring in a lot of money to certain schools, and how they want to divide it, and how it could be equally fair. It can't be. So they don't know what to do. It's been out of control for so long, and it starts at such a young age with these young athletes, and the athletes and the families are already, I should say, it's part of the manipulation at such a young age that it's accepted and it's looked at, that's the way it's supposed to be. So to try to come and do and undo all of that has been done for so many years and years and years and years and years, and for all the stuff that goes on underneath the table, you can't fix it. You just can't. You can't do it. With the AAU, whatever leagues, with the sneaker deals, and how it's just about the money now. Anyway, that's That's my take on it. I don't know how you can fix it. I'm telling you that you can't. I think the NCAA can do better on little things. I don't know why I do, but I don't. But I think they're so used to being so cocky and arrogant that they don't want to take the time to kind of correct some of the stuff, because you can't correct all of it. But I'm still trying to figure out why or what is wrong with me if I can have a job making, it's what's wrong with somebody helping me go home if I need to attend a funeral. So it's just a lot of little stuff that they don't know how to fix it. They just don't. So the corruption, the money, big time sports, millions and millions of dollars. The pockets are being filled, it'll be talked about, but nothing is going to really change. We love our money. And there's something about getting away with something that you're not supposed to get away with. And I'm benefiting for it. For a rule that you think about. That's just how we are. It's just kind of sad. But anyway, NIT, I didn't really pick what would be considered one of the better elite teams in the NIT. Looking here. That's a good question. Let's see how far Louisville will go. Interesting that they didn't make the NCAA. They had a rough season. I wonder how they would have done under Rick Pitino this year. I wonder if they, through all that madness that's had been going on. And of course, he's looking to get back into coaching, and somebody's going to hire him. He won't be hurting. He's not, so he will be okay, guaranteed. USC, Western Kentucky, Notre Dame, Oregon, Baylor is a good team. Baylor is a good team, and it'd be interesting to see them go up against LSU. Okay, well, we will see who is going to come out and end up in the Final Four in Madison Square Garden. All right, they usually play their championship game on a Thursday night. Okay, now let's go to the other one, the one where they make so much money on, and that's the field of 68. The field of 68. There's a lot of betting go on in the brackets, and talk about the money. Coming out of the South. Okay. I think the team that has probably been the most consistent, because we've had quite a few number ones throughout the year, I think the team that has played most consistently is probably Virginia. Villanova has been there, but I think, and I really haven't watched that much, but just hearing, been paying attention just a little, I think the strongest team, not that there is one, is probably Virginia, and mainly because of their defense. I don't think anyone has scored over 70 points against them all year. That says a lot, especially in the conference that they play in. That says a lot about you. Upsets. I'm going to say something crazy. I think St. Bonaventure got a good chance of upsetting Florida. And I was trying to find this Duke game. Where's this Duke? Duke got a chance to be upset. Oh, Iona. Something tells me, and I could be wrong. If a lot of teams are so okay, let me see. Syracuse beat Arkansas State, and Texas Southern beat North Carolina Central. UCLA lost to St. Bonaventure. Radford beat Brooklyn. Who Radford couldn't get a chance to go up and play because they're 16 seeds. So let's see where let me see where they go. Let me go to the 1 seed. Okay, they're not Virginia. Hold on, let me see. I'll find it. Not Xavier. So Penn State gotta be here. Okay. Ooh. They get to play Villanova. Okay. Enjoy the travel while you can. Okay. Do you think a 16 seed will ever be the 1 seed? That would be a great movie, wouldn't it? I always thought about writing that movie about a 16 seed beating a 1 seed. I already got it in my head what would make it a great movie. And I would love to make that movie. And the thing is, I've always wanted to write this book, and it's a black college, like a school like FAMU or Grambling, Cookman or somebody like that, going in and knocking off a 1 seed. And the reason why, I won't say the reason why, but there's a reason why they are able to do it. And it goes back to the storyline. And the storyline is the key to the movie. It's not the knocking off of the number 1 seed, 16, but it's the storyline of how this team came to be and who they really are and how they got to be so good. So it's the storyline of family, friendship, hard work, old school, a grandfather, a relationship, some heartache, some mistrust, and being able to come together. Doesn't that sound like a great movie? All right, yeah. Maybe I should just turn it into a book. Who knows? Anyhow, just sounds great. And they would beat somebody like Duke. How sweet would that be, right? Because, you know, Duke is always good. Florida, you know, the funny thing about Florida was that at the beginning of the year, they were talking like Florida was like a Final Four team. Because I really don't watch sports like I used to. But at the beginning of the year, I heard, because I listen to a lot of sports talk shows when you tell that I'm old, because when I ride around, my radio in the car is on AM. So if I'm not listening to the gospel station, or if I'm not, I love talk radio. See, ever since I was a kid, I've always loved talk radio. So trying to find a good talk radio station, you know. And then the thing is, I found out yesterday, Orlando lost one of its sports stations. Now I could be wrong, but 1080 AM, we have 3 here in the Orlando area. We have 580, 740, and 1080. So I go and I punch up 1080 yesterday, and I'm listening. I was like, oh, wait a minute. They ain't talking sports. So I tried to Google it and look, but there's nothing. So I punched it back today, and it is not sports. So now we are only down to 2. You know what? I did look. There was a 11 something that I didn't know about. We used to have another one. I think it was like 810. That didn't last long. So that was only here for a minute. So I don't know. But anyway, it looks like we lost one of our sports station, 1080, which used to be the ESPN. Then ESPN, when ESPN first came here radio-wise, they was on that station. But then they went to the power station, the one that's been here, that the best AM stations for it, signal-wise. Signal-wise, they went there because, you know, ESPN got money. They can do that. But man, there was something that I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. I started talking about the AM station. Xavier, Texas Southern. Florida State is coming in as a 6 seed. Ohio State is a 5 seed. I am predicting that they're going to be, well, actually, before we finish up here, let me go ahead and hit you up with the P shot.
Hey, brothers, how are you? Are you ready to get your sexy on? You should check me out. I'm Dr. Abraham Woods with Rejuvenation Treatment Centers. And guess what we have here? We have that famous P-Shot. The P-Shot is giving you your platelet-rich plasma back to the penis that's improving your girth, your length, your sensation, your orgasms. What more do you want in life than to have great sex? Look me up when you want to get your sexy on, and check us out at Rejuvenation Treatment Center. I'm Dr. Abraham Woods.
It's for real, people. I'm telling you. You should check it out. I'm a witness. I can tell you. It's amazing. So if you get a chance, you make sure that you, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. That was supposed to go. Let me go back to where I'm supposed to be. I was trying to go here, so I apologize. Ta-da. There you go. All right. That's where I was trying to go. You make sure that you call them up, do a little research on the O shot and the P shot. Tell them that you heard it on Youth Central Sports, and Dr. Woods and Dr. Jumper will give you some type of discount. And just tell them that Charles told you to call and make an appointment. And if you're not in the area, they can help you find someone and recommend someone that would be good for whatever issues or problems that you may be having. They'll be able to answer any of your questions. So, and please ask questions, please research, please research, please research, and you will find out that it's not a joke, no side effects, and it works. So I'm here to tell you. And the funny thing about Dr. Woods is that he's so passionate, and he has all these great stories of these older men who now kind of look at life differently. Isn't that a wonderful thing? But anyway, I'm Charles Morse, and you're watching Youth Central Sports here at www.youthcentralsports.com, where we come to you every Wednesday at 11 p.m. And I do apologize, but Vince Carter Sr. is he had surgery a couple of weeks ago, and he's recovering from his surgery. And we want to wish him well. He was carrying some things, misstepped, and balancing, trying to catch himself, tore something in his leg, which is not good. Had to have surgery, and he's trying to recover. So we want to wish Vince well, and we miss him, and I wish we can get him back to Florida. I really do. That would be a wonderful thing. But he's up in Tennessee coaching high school basketball, and he also is working with special needs kids, which he said is something new for him. He is learning a lot. As he said, that he's learning to have new patience, because I've always been in awe of people who can work with special need people, because I can't do it for the mere sake that my heart bleeds. too much. Growing up the way that I did and seeing life the way that I did, trying to imagine not being able to do all those things that I just, that we kind of take for granted, it just tears me up inside. And I'm like, wow. I'm being honest, it just hurts. Because that's where my mind goes. And to me, it takes a very special person to have that spirit of patience and to be able to smile and give off that spirit of goodness and that spirit of embracing. That's a gift, that's a gift from God. So with that being said, Vince says that he enjoy working with the special needs kids, and that it's a new learning, a new part of life for him as he's learning to be even more patient in life. And the challenging part of it is that is there, and he loves it. So overall, we're just saying, Vince, hope you feel better. Get well. Come on back. Hope that you can return next week. I'm going to call and check on him tomorrow and see how he's doing. Get an update on what his team is up to, his high school team, whether or not they're still in the playoff hunt and all of that. So we're about to finish up here, looking at the brackets. And I was talking about, it starts tomorrow, really. It actually started on Tuesday. But I would ask what you think might be some of the upsets. Okay, Arkansas is actually ahead of Butler. Oh, really? Upsets. I'm looking for what might be an upset. Kentucky kind of showed me a little something. I'm really not it's not that I'm not a Kentucky fan, but they kind of showed me something. West Virginia is a grinded out team because that's their coach, that's his style. And I saw them play against Kentucky. And Kentucky showed me something against West Virginia. But even though West Virginia, I still like their style of play. I still like their energy. And so in tournament play, like most of the times, anything to do with sports is always about the matchups. A lot of times people look at it about who's the best team. And one of the things that you learn in sports, if you watch it and play it for a while, the best teams don't always win. A lot of the times it has to do with the matchups. And in that particular night, the stars may line up. The little edge that you may need may be to your advantage of where the other team weakness. Even though the other team may be a better team, but that little weakness that they have and where your strength. So it's kind of when the lights are on and on that stage, it all kind of changes a little bit because you're on the biggest stage now and everybody's watching. So we have to wait and see. So I say all of that to say that it's about to kick off. So you're going to see a lot of tears. And how many buzzer beaters? We've seen quite a few at the end of last week with the tournament, with the conferences, tournaments and stuff like that. But that's all part of March Madness, right? That's what makes it so great. I've kind of been turned off a little when it comes to sports now, but overall because of our attitudes and where we place them. Again, Youth Central Sports was created based on something totally different other than sports, about life. That's where we come from on this show as we talk about sports. But I'll say this, and I'll say it till the day I die. God didn't create us to put us here to play sports. That's not why we're here. It's a major part of our lives. I say that because it's part of our dysfunction and not understanding who we are, what we are, and why we're here. So we do this because we're not doing what we really supposed to be doing. It's a substitute for our dysfunction and our inability to be dedicated to our truth. So now this thing has become our truth, and we place it in a place where we actually act like it is the Bible. That's what this show is actually about. But that's another story. But I grew up in sports. I love sports. It has its place, its purpose. It's a wonderful thing. If you're in the right state of mind, use it the right way, and the differences that it can make in so many facets of our lives in so many different ways. So it can be a wonderful thing. So God will never care about who wins. It's about how you go about winning is what he cares about. Before, during, and after the game. He cares nothing about the score. The scores that he keeps is how you play the game, how you act in the game, how you treat people in the game, and your attitude towards people and life in the game. That's what the game is about. Anyway, well, I'm about to wrap it up. And again, we want to wish Vince well. And again, for those, I ask you to please do your research, ladies and men, because it's ladies and men, the P shot and the O shot. And you might be surprised the help that's out there. And if you tell them that Charles sent you, you'll get a discount. I don't know how much, but just tell them that Charles sent you to the Center of Urology, the Rejuvenation Center. Call Dr. Woods, call Dr. Jumper at 407-830-4777. And they promise to get you back into the game. And we'll be back into the game, and I hope that you do enjoy the Final Four. Again, high school, the NBA playoff is coming up. A lot of things happening in the NFL. And can't wait, because I got this thing that I'm starting with. Vince, it's going to be called the Sprint. It's called a 3-minute sprint. So we're going to be looking forward to the 3-minute sprint. And we're going to actually have YouTube participate starting real soon. And you can be part of the 3-minute sprint as well. So you can tune in to find out more about that. And some other things that's going to be taking part in Youth Central Sports. All of that's coming up. And as you know, you can email us as well. Email questions or comments. And you can also follow us on Twitter. And if you do go to the YouTube page, you make sure that you subscribe and you like us there on YouTube as well. You go to youthcentralsports.com, and you can also like us on Facebook. You can like Vince and I on Facebook, so on and so forth. You know the social media thing, because we're on Periscope, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all of that stuff. So you make sure you follow us and like us, subscribe, the typical stuff that we all ask you to do. So I'm Charles Morse. Enjoy the tournament, which starts tomorrow, and we'll definitely be talking about it next week. We'll be talking about the upsets, the buzzer beaters. We'll be talking about the trades. We'll be talking about the NBA playoffs, and then maybe Vince can give us an update on how the school is doing, the kids are doing there in Tennessee. So I'm Charles Morris. Until next time, you be blessed.